All righty. Well, welcome. I'm coming to you from Brisbane, Australia. It is 5:45 in the morning, and got up for this for you, special group of winners. So I'd like to know, because we're going to use the chat a bit today, I'd like to know where you are from, where you're coming from. So I'm from Brisbane. Just type in hi from so I can see you. I see we've got 70 people online. Let me understand where you're from, and then we'll get into it because we've got an interesting half an hour of power. New York area, cool. Calgary, cool. Maine, I went up to Maine a couple of years ago before we were locked down. Texas, Phoenix, Nashville, love Nashville. Stephen celebrated a 60th birthday party in Nashville for a couple of days. That was good fun. The Bronx, LA, what part? John, LA's a big place. Quebec, never been there. Utah, been there a few times. Roger, well, wherever you are, good to have you here. Let me start with a story. So I've been privileged to work with the accounting profession since May 1994. And a couple of jobs in there and a whole range of businesses. And I started coaching firms in 2006. And anyway, I had a two-partner firm join me. They were about $1.6 million, $1.8 million in revenue, something like that. And they were doing 50% profit, 400 grand each, right? And anyway, I said, so why are you here? And they said, well, we've joined because, and they joined an existing coaching group that I had going. We've joined because we want to see if this is a pile of, excuse my language, crap or not. I said, really? Well, welcome along. And so we did the first round of updates, and it was all awesome, quarterly, best quarter, best half, best year type stuff. And I said, so boys, why are you really here? They said, we want to buy a bigger boat. I said, okay, cool, bigger boat. Anyway. So we got into it. We started helping them a year later. They sent me an email and said, we quit. I said, what do you mean you quit? And they sent me a photograph of their bigger boat, and like a big boat. And they said, by the way, we've just hit $1 million annualized profit per partner. They've gone from 400 grand to $1 million. So in 1 year flat. I'm going, wow, that's pretty cool. Maybe that's what I should help firms to do. Maybe I should focus on them making $1 million profit per partner. And then I've added while working less than 500 hours. So that's what I do. All over the world, 18 countries now, coach accounting firms to help do that. Now, you are all shapes and sizes. Let me show you a couple of statistics since you're all accountants here. By the way, I'm not. I left school when I was 16, but I've been immersed in your profession since the age of 24. So here's some stats for you. The average firm that I work with starts at about $1.4 million in revenue. About $400,000 in profit, and the partners working in time is about 1,300 hours. So working in the business, not on the business. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Year one average is plus 21% of revenue. Doesn't sound that impressive. You're probably doing that on your own. But what's more important is the profit increase year one average, 98.4%. Of course, some higher, some lower. And then the partners working in time, year one, it takes a bit of effort, but year two, it flies 20% down in year one, and then it really starts to kick in year 2, 3, and 4 afterwards. So I believe you should be running an accounting business, not an accounting practice. And one of the measures of an accounting business is how much free time and profit the partners actually have. Now, if you want that, if you want to know, otherwise, thank you, Sean, my favorite speaker. That's if you, books, 4 books. Thank you, Sean. If you want some of that, simply type yes into the chat. Simply type yes into the chat so I can see that you are all here and alive and working. So if you want some of that, Sean, so 4 books written. The most recent was called The Wealthy Accountant, bestseller all over the world. That was pretty cool. All righty. So first of all, we are going to focus on a number, right? And the number is called Profit Time Index. This is the ultimate outcome number, and we're going to poll this as well, by the way. So Chris has got a couple of polling questions coming up pretty soon. Chris, I'll tell you when to do that. And right. the number, this is a number that very few measure. Well, first of all, I invented the number, and here's what it is. And to me, this is the ultimate number of how well your accounting business works, not your accounting practice. So it is the partner's profit before partner salaries divided by total in working hours, in your business, on your business. So in time, classed as client work, charged or not charged, admin, HR, doing what the business does, versus on time, which is business development, product development, leadership, tasks that get leverage, in versus on. So this number, the higher the number is, of course, the more the firm is less reliant on you as the partner. So question for you. We've got 2 questions to work this out. Polling question. So Chris, we can run this if you choose. How much profit per partner do you make, right? So the question is, and if you can put into the poll, please, less than 250,000 per annum, 250 to 500, 500 to 750, 750 plus. Where are you at? And we'll just do a poll. It's all anonymous. 250 coming through strong. All right. By the way, it doesn't matter what it is. What's important is that you actually want to do something about it. So let's have a look. 73% less than 250, 16% 250 to 500, 8% 500 to 750, and 3% 750 plus. That's the result. Now, second part of the equation, and the second polling question is, how much time do you spend working in your business? How much working in time do you do per year? So the ranges are in the poll: less than 750 hours, 70 to 1250, 1250 to 2000, more than 2000. Where are you at? And let's see where we're going here. All right, so less than 750 is about 14%, 750 to 1250, 25%, 1250 to 2000, 31%, and then more than 2000. So basically, 80% of you are working more than 1,000 hours or thereabouts in your business. So what I want you to do is to take your profit number and divide your working in hours into that to get the number of profit time index. So when you get that number, you'll be on a scale. And here is the scale I came up with. 0 to 250, and by the way, I said it doesn't matter what it is, because if you decide to do something different, this is the number that should change. We're making more profit, and our time is coming down at the same time. So 0 to 250, you're basically overworked, underpaid. That is, you're overworked and underpaid. 250 to 500, you're starting to make a little bit of money now, but you're still working too much, working way too much. 500 to 1,000, you might make, what about the time? It's interesting, around 1,000 to 2,000, some things happen. Leverage is kicked in. We've got more people, so we can delegate to. We're making more profit. Our time is coming down. Going great. Here's the issue. You get around this figure here, 4 or 5, anywhere from 1,000 to 2,500, and you get comfortable. Life starts to take care of itself. You've got more time on your hands. You know, the client delivery time is way down. Profitability is way up. Might be 700,000, mil 2, mil 5. A firm I work with right now in Maryland, we got them to, they're about 600,000 profit per partner when I met them, and about 35-40% on revenue. And within a year, we got them $1 million profit per partner. We're now at a 2-partner firm, 3 years later, 7.5 million in revenue. And they just told me last week, we've just hit, for 2 partners, 2 million profit for the half. So they're going for 2 million this year. And I said to them, don't get too comfortable, because, you know, life is good. They're buying cars, they're having good life, paying debt down, etc. Don't get too comfortable here. 2.5 to 5. Let's double it from here without doubling the time. Let's run an accounting business, not an accounting practice. An accounting practice is where the practitioner does the majority of the work, or without the practitioner, there is no profit left. Let's run a business here. Keep pushing, there's more in you yet. And then the highest score I've seen is a past coaching firm of mine called Ray Taggart at 20,000. So I haven't coached Ray for 6 years. 4 years straight I coached him. And he was $450,000 in revenue when I met Ray, and working his tail off. Within 3 years, we got him to $1 million profit on $1.8 million in revenue. And then the next year after that, I said, Ray, you're on your own, off you go. 6 years later, and I've known Ray in between that, but 6 years later, he was here, right? So here, when I say here, this is my clubhouse. So my clubhouse, the backdrop is, I'm golf mad. I built a golf course in my front yard. Golf Digest called it the world's best backyard golf course. And then in the background here is you're actually inside the clubhouse of the, so this is no virtual screen. This is actually clubhouse. Anyway, Ray comes around the clubhouse and I said to Ray, how's it all going? It's awesome. He says, I'm not working that much, so I'm making $1.5 million. I said, cool. How much are you actually working? I introduced him to the Profit Time Index. And he said, oh, I do a 1 hour meeting a week for the team, and the rest of the time is business development. I said, so you're working in the business 1 hour a week, 2.5 million in revenue, by the way, 1.5 profit. And he says, yeah, and I'm working in the business an hour, and the rest is working on. I said, so what's your profit? At 1.5, 50 hours for the year, $30,000. This is a business that survives without Ray. Does your business survive without you? Could it survive without you? Can it prosper without you? Or are you the one carrying the can? Profit Time Index is the ultimate outcome number. It's where it's all at as far as the way you shape your business, the way you develop it, the way you manage it. And let me show you what you need to be doing to increase this number. So here's a summary. We've only got half an hour together today. Ask questions as we go through. I've got the chat open. We've only got half an hour, so we can't do everything. Thank you for posting a link to latest book in there, Sean. Free on the website, absolutely. So this is called Profit Time Program. This is a summary, and I'll take you through some pointers as we go of what you need to do, if you're interested, to increase your Profit Time Index. First of all, it's all about meaning, freedom, and lifestyle. It's all about you developing your lifestyle, having more meaning, having more freedom. As you go along this journey, we need to measure some numbers: average hourly rate, efficiency, number of clients, average fee per client. We also need to measure revenue, profit, cash, and of course, Profit Time Index. I get my clients to measure Profit Time Index every single month, because if you are to hire someone, your profit should go up, your time should go down. If you are to put a new client through the system, your profit should go up, your time should go down, not relying on you. And depending on your speed and effectiveness of implementation will determine how fast you get your number. So there are 4 pieces to this puzzle. Here's a puzzle team, right? Puzzle. We need to fix what's going on today. We need to minimize time dramatically. We need to scale the business to the appropriate size that you want. And we need to lead the team through the transition. 4 pieces. Now, with your time, you spend more time on one than another at certain times of the year. So for example, yesterday I ran a webinar with 3 case study firms I work with. One we started 6 months ago at $850,000 in revenue, a 54% increase this year. Second one we started working with 18 months ago. We've taken revenue from 2.1 this year, they'll do 4.2. And the third one is 2.5 years, different stage of the journey. The first one, we're very much focused on minimizing time with workflow. The second one, we've gone through that and we're scaling. And the third one, we've gone through all of that and we're scaling. So fixing, let's start there. What do we need to fix? Well, we need to fix pricing. None of you charge enough for what you do. It shows every time my clients do a price increase, they get no blow back, and they need to push it further. And price up front, no more time-based billing in arrears. Value pricing. Some of you think you are value pricing. One of my firms here in Australia actually just landed a $600,000 deal about 3 weeks ago. They're a $2 million firm, and it was all value priced. It's based on the client's what the client got out of the contribution the accounting firm made. Recurring revenue. One of the firms yesterday, Profile from Atlanta, 100% of their revenue is recurring, as in not it turns up a year, but every month it's billed. Monthly recurring. Managing scope creep and scope seep. So making sure, I spoke to one of the Stein, two-partner firm from LA. And Mike said, one of the things we did is we started looking at how much work we were doing and not charging for it. Averaged $7,500 a month for 2.5 years of work that we should have been charging for that we now charge for. You multiply 7,500 by 30 months, that's a lot of money, all profit. Managing scope creep and scope seep. Lockup reduction. So accounts receivable and work in progress. When you get to monthly recurring revenue, this is not a problem anymore, but we have to clean it up. We need to bill all the WIP and we need to collect all the accounts receivable. And often if a firm's got that problem, they could have, 100 days of their revenue, a third of their revenue in lockup, then that's one of the first projects we do. Let's bill it all, let's collect it all. Client mix. I have a belief that your only clients that you have are A-class clients. They're only A-class clients. They're not anything else but A-class clients. There's too many out there to get, so let's have them all as A-class clients. Client service program. So making sure that we actually have a customer service program. Communication process. What is the process? What's the cadence of meetings of how we communicate with our clients? Not reactively, but proactively. Fixing day to day. Minimizing time. When you start pricing up front, the objective is less time on the clock, not more. The measure that we work with here is called time under budget. That's the objective, time under budget. Work management, treating your work like a production line, like a manufacturing facility. How do we get fast throughput? What I call client excellence coordinators, realizing that around 2 hours per accountant per day is spent doing administrative tasks associated with the accounting work. Let's hire some people to do that. A wonderful ratio. Time budgets on all jobs, not dollars budgets, but time budgets. Last year was 20 hours, let's do it in 15. Let's put a cap of 15 on this. Drive the time down. The tech, particularly in the United States, many firms think that a hosted environment is cloud. No, it's not. It's actually hosted on someone else's server. I'm talking pure cloud here. Pure cloud accounting, pure cloud tax, all your CRM, all in the cloud. And your client's tech linked to that as well. We've gone through this revolution here in Australia, and we saw firms reduce their time by up to 60% when the client's tech was upgraded. Systems and process, so I'm talking QBO or Xero. Systems and process or others as well. More efficiency is the plan. What's the L&D plan? Great, we've got 70 of you here in a learning and development environment. And lastly, partners' time. How do you spend your time? I like to follow the 30-60-10 rule, which is no more than 30% of your time in a client delivery role, and making sure any work that you do is only work that you can do. That means that the only work that you do is higher level work. 60% of your time in a business development sales role, and 10% leadership, 10% in a leadership role. Growing, developing the business. Partner time, 30-60-10. Scaling the business. Scaling the business to whatever size you want. So you choose, but we start with brand development. What does our brand say about us? Client goals documented. I have a process called a GAP meeting, and the GAP meeting stands for Goal Achievement Process. It's a meeting with a client to understand their goals, understand where they are now, where they want to go. Let's because I believe the role of the trusted advisor is making sure that all clients are buying everything that they need that helps them achieve their goals. That's my belief. And you as the trusted advisor, that's what you're here to do. Find opportunities. I work with a firm in Edmonton called KWB. Last week on their coaching meeting, they said, we're doing the find opportunities exercise. We've gone through 70 client files. We found 3 to 4 additional projects per client. I said, okay, cool. Let's roll that out. What do you think the revenue increase will be? and they already do about 4.8 now. So probably $1 million to $1.2 million. You know, that's huge in the existing client base. Niche markets, you know, profile yesterday, 100% dentists. Didn't start out that way 18 months ago. It is much easier to do marketing if you've got one market to chase rather than trying to be all things to all people. Lead generation, having mechanisms in place that we generate A-class leads all the time. We're out there finding leads that are suitable to you, not just accepting anyone that comes via your door. Productization. This is all about leverage team, right? This is all about you, the partner, running a business that you are not the main fee earner, the main profit center here. Increasing your profit, reducing your time. That includes productization. It includes sales process, sales skills. No doubt in the last 18 months, you've all had to learn to sell by Zoom rather than face-to-face. It's a beautiful thing. And then the team. Are they onshore, offshore? Are they outsourced? Where are they? Where the team located? Scaling your business to whatever size you want. Leading your business. So with vision, mission, values, you know, what's the structure? Of the business? Who's doing what? What's the operational plan, the one-page plan? Reporting and accountability. I run an awesome article. If you're on my email list, you'll get this in a couple of days on accountability, how to hold people accountable internally. Team culture, recognizing that team culture and team performance will trump strategy every single time. There's a lot here, team, by the way. I think these slides have been made available, so you don't have to take notes or take photographs. Team performance, A-class team members. Here's the test on team. Would you enthusiastically rehire them? With the current team that you've got, would you enthusiastically rehire them? If not, well, let's free up their future. Get them to some other CPA firm and stuff their business up. Themes and celebrations. You know, Crystal Royce from Arizona yesterday, that 54% increase. Well, a big thing for them is engaging the team with a quarterly theme and celebrating that theme as well. You know, one of them they had the first quarter of this year was 1,000 returns done by May 31, or by March 31, first quarter, and a $10,000 bonus pool if we got more than 100 returns filed. They got 107, 10,000 split. Never done that before in their life. And meeting rhythms wraps out the file. So, team, here is the thing. There's a lot to do to grow and develop in your firm. And thanks for the link in the book. You can certainly go and grab that for free, The Wealthy Accountant, the most recent book that I've written. But if you want to transform your firm, transform it. Transform your profit, transform your cash, your revenue, your team, your clients, your lifestyle, and your wealth, and ultimately yourself, because I believe this business should help you create generational wealth for you, and it should fulfill your life as well. But if you want to transform that, I'm not talking about a tweak of the dials here, team, right? I'm not talking about a tweak of the dials. There are three pieces to the puzzle to make this happen. There's accountability, there's learning, and there's sharing. You can go and grab my book for free. Sean put in the chat there for sure. Go and do that, right? But that is content. And content only, you'll get a bit of a burst and then it'll peter out. Bit of a burst, peters out after that. If you really want to transform your firm, you need help. You need how-to detail, tools, support, and coaching. And that's where we come in, right? We come in to help you do that for the right type of firm. You've got a few choices. You can do nothing. You may be totally comfortable where you are. We go back to that number of profit time index. You may be totally comfortable, and that's okay. Do nothing. Have a nice day. Get your CPE credits. Good luck, right? You can do a little on your own, and you'll make a bit of progress. On my website, robnixon.com, where Sean put in a link to Wealthy Accountant. Mooch around there. There's blog, there's articles, there's free tools as well. For it, I give a lot out, right? Or connect with me on LinkedIn. We give a lot out on LinkedIn as well. Do a little on your own. But if you really want to transform, then you need some help. And for the right type of firm, we're here to help. We're here to really help you if you are the right sort of firm that wants some help. So here everyone. Our personal help, one-on-one help with our team is not for everyone at all. But if you're more than $1 million in revenue this year, our cut is $1 million in revenue. Why is that? People ask. Because I believe if you can get to $1 million in revenue on your own, then I can help you get to $1 million in profit pretty quickly and less than 500 hours. If you've been flat and struggling at 500, 600, 700,000, then more content technology is not going to be the answer here. So get to $1 million on your own, then we can kick in. If you're 5 or less partners, why is that? Well, I find over 5 partners, there's too many indecision makers. Those that have more than 5 partners know what I'm talking about. If you're ambitious, if you're super ambitious and you're, as well as that, coachable, you actually take advice and you implement it. We only work for a maximum 64 firms at any one time. We've got a little bit of capacity right now. We've got a capacity for 8. If that's you, then let's meet. Let's meet and see if we can help. I'm going to put a meeting in the chat, a meeting link, which is right there. Let's catch up and see really with what I'm doing, will it work for you? Bounce into that Calendly link. Let's set up a meeting, a half an hour exploratory meeting, get to know each other a bit and see, is this going to work for you? It may or may not. I'm not for everybody. I typically say no to a third we say yes to, and a third they're not ready for it. We'll catch up in a year or so from now. So team, giving 30 minutes. So there's 30 minutes of power. Hope you enjoyed that, Chris. It's now nearly 6:15. I'm off to play golf. You have a great day. Chris, over to you.
Perfect, Rob. Thank you so much for joining in and waking up early to share some insight with us. We really, really appreciate it. And so anybody have any questions?
Oh, we got 3 minutes for Q's. Absolutely 3 minutes for questions.
Yeah. Anybody have questions? Feel free to unmute, raise your hand.
It's pretty intense there.
Or you could post in the chat and we'll take it.
Or you have no questions because it was so crystal clear and we're all done. How's my golf game? Right? Yeah, cool. So yeah, let's talk about that. That's fun stuff, right? I built a golf course in the front yard. Golf Digest did a big article on it. They said world's best backyard golf course. I have members. I've got 133 members. We've got our club championships next week. And my handicap this year has dropped from 12 to 6. I'm actually on 6.8 right now. So my golf game's growing great right at the moment. It's been a beautiful thing, Brian, because our golf courses have been every day during the whole pandemic thing here.
So by the way, how long have you been golfing?
Not long, 18 years, 19 years. But here's the other thing. If you notice back in the clubhouse here, if I'm on full screen, there's a wall of hats on the back here. And so yeah. On one half, this half is the top 100 golf courses in Australia. On the other half is the top 100 in the world. And so there's only 40 people in the world 100. And I want to be one of those. It's super hard to do. So half of those courses are ultra private, half are public. I was going great until last January. I did 2 in January last year and none since. So I'm hoping to travel again and start knocking off some hats. So we have very much a golf themed environment going on here. Chris, there you go.
Sure. Love it. All right, folks. No other questions. Rob, thanks so much again, taking time out.